Hello and welcome to Talk Nerdy with iCIMS. And my guest today is kind of the belle of the ball today, Mr. Kyle. You are one popular fellow today.
Can you blame them? I mean,
No,
hello. I wore my
no, I think
graded
it's the
cardigan
cancer.
for this?
Oh, yes, I know. That was quite the hit at HR Tech a couple of weeks ago. Was your merch?
Yep, yep. We had fun putting it together. Wanted to look like a team. It was our first time as a group out together, and wanted to do something more than just a tee.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So today, we on this segment, we talk a lot about data and trends. And I had a kind of a unique view on another little sad thing that you're working on that's not really a sad thing. It's something that's definitely needed. Can you tell us about the AI Council and what problem you are trying to solve with your team?
Oh, absolutely. So we published some research last week on the state of AI and HR. We're doing more than just studying what's going on. At Kyle and Co, we wanted to make sure that our taglines were research meets reality, and
Mm,
we really wanted to make sure that the observations that we had, the best practices that we were identifying, that they were informed and connected and supporting the field. We also we know, like Trent, you and I have been friends for a while. You do a lot of really great AI education content of your own. That's because one of the biggest gaps for the HR and talent space right now, when we're staring down this like actually truly transformative trend of AI, the biggest gap isn't budget or bandwidth; it is literacy. Most
mm,
people really just don't understand what this is. All they see is hype and concerns. But so there are at the same time, hello, you as a former practitioner, there are people in HR leadership who do know what this stuff is and are tracking these trends very closely and are driving meaningful adoption of these capabilities in their organizations. And what I wanted to do was not just shout my ideas from the mountaintops, but bring together those people who we've met through our work and give them an opportunity to close that gap, to work to enable and empower their peers. And the Human-Centric AI Council was born. I think I put out the ask to you in January of this year, and we've been hard at work pulling some stuff together. But yeah, I mean, we've seen a lot of the content and concepts, the answers to questions about AI in the space are developed and delivered by the solution providers, which a lot of it's great. We really do see you care to solve the problem too, but your customers and my stakeholders, they want to learn from each other as well. And so we thought it'd be great to have a practitioner lens on all of it.
I think that was probably the most impressive whenever, because I was part of it before I joined iCIMS, and it was fascinating to me the different levels of expertise that you were able to pull together on this council to solve. Well, first of all, I think it was kind of like, okay, what problems are we trying to solve? And then
Mhm.
kind of going from there, everyone just naturally gravitated to a couple of the different pillars. Can you share what those pillars are?
Oh yeah, actually, like I've got. Let me pull this up because we knew that there was a lot that we had to figure out in AI,
Hmm.
but like that. Remember when we had our first early workshops? It was just like ideas were all over the place. They were all good. But like, how do we crystallize this? Like, what are we actually trying to accomplish? And we came up with this mission statement, which was Human-Centric AI Council brings together industry experts, tech providers, and key stakeholders to empower HR leaders to lead responsible, ethical AI transformation. And like this is the work that we're doing, like the education, community, and best practices. We're trying to help our
Hmm.
peers thoughtfully balance workforce impact and business goals. The pillars that we came up with, because again, we're like, well, what is human-centric AI? Like, what is all of this stuff? What do we? It's a really great tagline, right? But what does it actually mean? And we identified five different things that we do believe are core to human-centric AI.
Okay.
AI literacy and education, like first and foremost. Like we just have to know what this
Mhm.
stuff is. But then we also were looking at what was making a difference, like AI trust and safety, where we could make sure that the applications of AI in the workplace were ensuring ethical and responsible implementations and use cases. Another pillar was AI value realization. Like, we're not just innovating because it's cool, right? Our job as HR
Mhm.
leaders is to support the business in achieving its objectives. We need to bring value through our innovation. So we wanted to make sure that these projects are demonstrating tangible business impact and delivering on actual necessary outcomes. Adoption and change management is also one, like, which is just huge. These projects, even if you're running a pilot, can get very complex. It's not just a technical issue; it is also like a cultural and operational. There's a lot goes into
It's
it.
a
So
mindset. Yeah.
oh, absolutely. Mindset,
Mhm.
behaviors need to change. So we were also identifying that AI adoption and change management as a pillar. And then the last one, which is like the fun one where I get to live, is in forward thinking and future ready AI. This stuff is always evolving. This is like AI is not done, air quotes. And so
Mhm.
we felt it's also critical in this value chain, like in our mission, that we were going to be looking around the corner, looking ahead, and making sure that we knew what was coming, so that we could help our peers stay in touch, not necessarily like at the hype cycle level. We're not hype police or hype participants. We really are just trying to be pure utility players helping our colleagues. And
Mhm.
so we're trying to run through that practitioner lens of what's coming and what does the future hold, making sure that we're ready for it.
Well, one of the ones that I was pretty passionate about was the AI literacy, and especially whenever this first started, I remember having a conversation with you. I had already done like 3 or 4 different talks the first part of the year about AI and where is it going and, what do you need to start doing today? And I found that probably after the second or third one, I reframed anytime that I talk about AI and go, "Let's make sure that we define the different stages of AI so that way we're all using the same language," because I started finding that some of the questions that they were talking about AI was actually automation, like if this, then that. So they didn't even really understand the different buckets. And I believe that the AI literacy team, they actually came out with a toolkit that it's about to launch, right?
Oh yeah, yeah, great call out. So thank you for being a founding member of the AI Council. Your
It was
fingerprint.
hard to let it go.
I
Hard to let it go.
know, I know. Your fingerprints are still in the work,
Okay.
and I appreciate the opportunity to share it with you and the audience. But so we're not just getting together and talking. Like, we don't need more ideas in the space. We need help. We need resources. So we have these 5 pillars, but then we also identified 4 priorities that we like basically like an agenda of resources that we're going to deliver in our first year. And an AI literacy toolkit was one of them. Like,
Mhm.
no one's going to teach HR, and we're not talking about just like what we're finding is like it's not enough for the leaders to know what AI is and how it works. It's not enough even for the technology product or project leads to know how this works. Like with an ATS project,
Mhm.
it used to be you had, ops was going to run the project, they were going to implement, and then all you had to do was show up for training. AI is different. We all need to
Mhm.
understand it just at a literacy level. That it's not mastery, it's literacy. And so, in order to help support that, we have a group of peer level. That, I mean, we range from like a global head of talent acquisition into like people running HR ops. So there's a mix of different peers. An HR, a senior HR business partner, putting together like explanations of what an LLM is versus NLP. Like, so our HR people are telling us what this stuff is, and we're putting it all together into coursework that is free. By
Mhm.
the way, this is all these resources are completely free because it's a mission driven initiative, and we're publishing it in the next month so that people can start rolling this out with themselves, with their teams. We want this to be a resource that people can glom onto and get a lot of value out of, because AI is not slowing down; it's in fact speeding up. Now is the moment for us to start to figure out what this stuff is really all about.
Absolutely. And previous to AI, whenever you rolled out a new technology, you always had an SME, an SME team, and then SOPs. But I think with AI, you don't really have an SME because it's changing so incredibly fast, and you can't keep the SOPs up to date in lockstep with everything that's changing. So kudos to you and kudos to the team for fantastic work. I can't wait to see all of the byproducts of it. I'm an anxious consumer of it. So I appreciate you coming on, and I will kick it back over to our host.
Thanks, Trent.